Outages, the Digital World podcast. And I wanted to show this article before the weekend takes off because I find it interesting how around the country there are many outages with banking services. So, here, this article is titled Banks Around the World Are Suffering Big Outages, Leaving Millions of Customers in Lurch at Worst Possible Time. Now, it talks about 20 banks, some suffering repeated outages, six countries went in lockdown, five continents, tens of millions of unhappy customers. And I'll have the link in the description below. So if you want to go ahead and read the full thing, you can go ahead. I'm just gonna present the main points here. And here we see New Zealand, now in its seventh week of nationwide lockdown, one of the country's largest lenders, Kiwi Bank, went down on Tuesday. Many of its customers in the lurch. It is one of a string of IT outages the bank has suffered over the past 3 weeks. After a DDoS attack on New Zealand's third largest internet provider caused IT crashes at a number of lenders, including the Commonwealth Bank and Ants Bank. And we see that there. Now we see 24 million unhappy customers. New Zealand is not the only country to have suffered major outages within its banking system in recent weeks. Other countries, including the UK, Japan, South Africa, Venezuela, and Mexico, though there are no doubt more. And so he says on operating 12 operating failures at Mexico's largest bank, BBVA Mexico left 24 million account holders unable to use the bank's 13,000 ATMs, its mobile app, or in-store payments for almost 20 hours. It being a Sunday, customers cannot even avail of the lender's in-branch cash services. And then it goes to talk about some of the reasons why that was. And so then it goes ahead and outlines how Mexico is known for stolen data, etc., etc. Now, a growing trend in the UK, right here, I'm reading right down here, the Financial Conduct Authority has been deeply concerned about the increasing number of technology outages for a number of years. At the FCA's annual public meeting in 2019, the regulator's executive director of supervision said the number of incidents of Operation Resilient breaks reported in terms of IT failings had increased 300% year on year. And she said this would probably be a growing trend, though it is partly due to the rise in reporting of events. And then she goes and says that the websites of six large banks and building societies, Lurch, HSBC, Tesco Bank, Bank of Scotland, Halifax, and Barclays, were brought down by a global internet outage allegedly caused by a botched software update. Okay, and then it goes to say an intense and aggressive cyber attack. Again, I'm highlighting the main points and then kind of discuss it because it's a pretty long article. Here it says almost 5,000 miles away from the UK, on the other side of the Atlantic, 16 million customers of Venezuela's biggest bank, Banco de Venezuela, had to recently endure 5 days without the bank's online platform. As tends to happen in these cases, the outage became apparent when bank customers began venting their anger on social media. When the platform was finally restored, the president laid the blame on the U.S. government, which she accused of launching an intense and aggressive cyber attack against the bank's IT system. And so, here, time and time again, we see these legacy institutions not being able to withstand these cyber attacks that are occurring. Here it says, inherent fragility of legacy systems. If you're a large retail bank in the UK, you're probably dealing with legacy systems. This person said, but as fintech companies add new features to their apps, they are keen to do the same for competitive reasons. And so, it says Nelson added that although some banks do plan to eventually phase out their legacy systems, it takes a brave chief technology officer to envisage that due to the inherent risk in changing systems. Okay, so there's the issue that lies in the inherent legacy financial systems. And those are some of the examples of people having to deal with that. Now, in a more serious crisis, there could be, weeks on end in which people may not be able to access their bank accounts, whether that be through online banking or maybe because if there's a lockdown, these banks, the actual building itself is not in operation. I don't know. There's many possibilities, but one thing I will tell you is that there's been signs of a cyber attack, not only on behalf of the World Economic Forum, but also on behalf of one of these, I think it was Palantir, that was warning of a major cyber attack that could bring down a lot of systems. I showed you a video earlier today of a gentleman who was saying that if there was an attack the on a mass scale, it would cripple the financial system. And so this just puts into perspective and gives you real world examples of this happening in recent memory, and how a cyber attack can really, really devastate the economy and people's access to their money. So, as you think about this, it's just good to always, be prepared in case of anything. This is, I've been talking about power outages and things of that sort for a while now, and it's just something where you got to be aware of. Hacks and outages and cyber attacks are just part of everyday life now, and at one point, this could all culminate in a climax, which really may have severe consequences. So it's something to keep an eye on. I hope this episode has brought you some value. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.